bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Hello! During the previous masterclass we were weaving a cup mat like this. Today we are going to consider various options of snowflake-shaped mats. So, having experimented with my snowflakes, I've concluded that such tubes are a bit too thick. The items don't look fine enough. That's why I've tried working with thinner tubes, and I like the result more. These are the thinnest ones, the tubes I've used for weaving flowers. The paper they are made from is extremely thin. But I like the result too. Anyway, mostly we are going to discuss the various patterns and how to weave, for example, such an open snowflake with beams radiating, or such a closed one with a rim. I'll show you such options. Before we start, let me add a few words. I've tried painting the tubes various colors, both on white and dark background. Finally, I've come to a conclusion that light tubes against a dark background look better. That's why it is the way we are going to weave. We've already shown how to start in the previous masterclass. I'll share the link, I don't want to waste your time. Today I'm going to show you the process from where a pattern starts shaping. So I've woven a row of wrapping. Let's consider it a first row and a second row. In the third row, in order to get such a dense snowflake, I add a new coil to every existing one. I make one coil like in root weaving and the second one within the intervals. That is, I make an additional coil after each existing one. And continue this way until the end of the row. So I made such a workpiece. I woven the first row in wrapping technique, woven the second row, added coils in the third row and woven the fourth row. Now I'm starting the fifth row. Here, in order to avoid tucking the tails in afterwards, those who watched the previous masterclass must remember that I've done. So this time I lead an additional tube under the loops right now, lead it out from behind the tubes, and start. Lead the additional tube here. Got it. Then take the basic tube I was weaving with and lead it under the row. Got it. In the previous video I've already shown you the way I do. Now I'm shaping in a bit different pattern. Under the row. Got it. In the current row, everything goes the same way as in the previous masterclass. After this, I'll show you one more option. It's time to lengthen the tube. I've reach the end of the row with my new pattern. After this, if I weave 3 more rows, I'll get such a dance pattern. I do like it, it's quite interesting. But I don't like weaving identical items, and I learn for experiments. That's why I recalled my lazy fishtail in root weaving and decided to try it a bit differently. Another reason why I wanted to try it different is because these loops, which I'm supposed to lead a working tube through, I would have to lead a tube here, and then this way, and then lead it out from here. It is rather dense. Well, though it's quite okay. But I felt like trying it differently and decided to give a try to such a lazy option. It makes both the process easier and the construction lighter, less dense. Take a look, please. I don't lead this tube under the previous row, but make a kind of wrap instead, just leading it backward. Then lead a normal working tube under the loop as usual. As for the one placed behind, I make a wrap with it again, leading it backward. The pattern doesn't lose much. It varies just a little, still shaping a snowflake pattern. So I continue weaving in such a saving or lazy option, or maybe it would be appropriate to call it simplified. I'll lengthen this tube. As for this one, I just lead it here like this and continue this way. I've almost finished weaving my cup mat. Take a note, please. I'm weaving the second simplified row already. The first row was full braid, the next 2 rows are being woven in a lazy fishbone technique. I lead a normal working tube just under the row. At first I tried leading it under the wrap, but then I realized I can lead it just under the row. 1, 2. Once again, I don't intentionally try to get into a specific point, I just lead the tube through any vacant gap. I lengthen the tube from the opposite side in the same way, trying to place the joint under the very row. Here is a tube under the row. Hold with my fingers carefully and lead it this way. The tubes have gotten a bit dried. This way. And make a wrap. Let's count where the row finishes. Here I've got 1, 2, 3, while here I've got only 2 coils, after which I've got 3 everywhere. It means I'll have to make the last coil here. Continue weaving. I'm not going to finish this item with wrapping. I'll show you the way I do on the next example. So 1, 2, finishing, leader tube here, three, here I've got 3 coils of a fishbone already. This means I have to make the last coil. I finish the same way as in the previous masterclass. Cut one working tube in the previous coil and leave the second working tube under the first coil. This way. Smoothen the rows where possible. There have to be 3 coils, so I lead the tail and hide it inside the weaving from the wrong side. Well, let's hide this one here. One, 2. Make sure the transition is as neat as possible. Cut the tube. Raise a little, smoothen the edge. So, let's cut off the tails. They are tucked in so they won't slide away. I've got such a snowflake-shaped mat. And one more option, such an open snowflake. Here I'd like to share my thoughts about the number of beams of a snowflake. It depends on the start of the weaving, how densely the stitches will be distributed. Let's try to add. In this case I'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 beams. In this sample, here's the beginning, I've got, let's count, 15 beams. I added one coil after each existing one. This time, let's try making fewer beams to make them look more distinct on a dark background. For this purpose I'm going to add a new coil. Here I've got a workpiece. Well, let's repeat. I've made the beginning, then I've made coils. Let it be the first row. Woven the second row under each coil. As for the third row, in order to get fewer beams, I'm going to add two coils here and one coil under the next one. Then 2 coils again. And again 1 coil. And continue alternating like this. Try to make identical intervals between them. Two coils and 1. I've got 1 coil here, so make 2 coils here again. 1, 2, Be careful. One coil here. Here I've got 2. So let's count how many beams we've got. That will be the first one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, anyway, a bit fewer this time. We'll see what it looks like. After this, I weave a few rows in a normal wrapping technique. That is, I don't lead the tube under the loop, but just between the rows. Under the row in every interval between the coils. It is the way we continue shaping the beams. I'm performing another row of wrapping now. The intervals between the coils are getting bigger. Smoothen the item carefully. Hide the joint. I'm already approaching the finish. This way. Count the number of coils. I'm preparing the last coil and cut off the tube as usual. Here I've got a joint. And lead the tube here. Well, maybe let's try without lengthening. Yeah, probably it will be better this way. Just glue the tail. Lead the last coil and smoothen. Hide it under the coils. And I wanted to show you the wrapping on the example of this item. Here, for example, I feel that the wrapping is unnecessary. Why? Because the intervals between the pattern elements are not big. While this one seems a bit incomplete to me. That's why I'd like to make a normal wrapping on this item. I've tried making it simultaneously with weaving the last row. You can do it this way or just like this. I'm going to show you one fragment. Everything's quite clear, make coils, and here, like in root weaving, lead the tube through the loop and continue. Lengthen the tube and finish the mat with such a wrapping. I've approached the finish. The only thing left is to hide the initial and the last tails. Tuck them in under the weaving neatly. The first and the second one. These three. 1, 2. Got it? Hidden and smoothened. Here is the front side and here is the round side. And the first mat, the front and the round side. Both sides look nice, lace-like. Before I finish, I'd like to add a couple of words about tubes. The tubes for such thick mats have been made of paper strips 7 centimeters wide, 1 and 3/4 inches. I roll them around a knitting needle number 1.2. As for these items, I've taken my time to make tubes of 5 centimeter wide strips, 2 inches. I've rolled them around the same knitting needle 1.2, sorry. As for me, such mats look more interesting and more delicate. If you like the idea, I'll be glad to see what kind of snowflakes you'll create. Maybe some of you will think of some new snowflake patterns. I would be happy to see them. So enjoy the flight of imagination. If you are not our subscriber yet and have seen this masterclass accidentally, you are welcome to subscribe to our channel. Click like, as this helps to promote the channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to be notified of our new masterclasses. See you!